power forward, also known as the 4, often plays a role similar to that of the center, down in the post or low blocks. The power forward is often the team's most powerful and dependable scorer, being able to score close to the basket while also being able to shoot mid-range jump shots from 10 to 15 feet from the basket. Power forwards are also very crafty and have to be versatile on both offense and defense, but not as much as a small forward. Power forwards usually have good footwork in the paint and are able to force players into bad shots or blocking shots when guarding the paint. Some power forwards have become known as stretch fours, since extending their shooting range to three-pointers. On defense, they are required to have the strength to guard bigger players close to the basket and to have the athleticism to guard quick players away from the basket. Most power forwards tend to be more versatile than centers since they can be part of plays and are not always in the low block. A tall power forward over 6 feet 8 inches can be a forward center or a center. A smaller power forward, approximately 6 feet 7 inches, can play combo forward or a small forward. In the NBA, power forwards usually range from 6 feet 7 inches to 7 feet 0 inches. The power forward is essentially a bigger and stronger version of the small forward, but not generally as tall or as long as the center. Generally speaking, the power forward is usually good at rebounding, and in some instances, a power forward with a high basketball IQ could also be a great passer, particularly from the high or low post areas via post-split action. Giannis Antetokounmpo or Dirk Nowitzki are notable examples of power forwards in the NBA. In the WNBA, some notable examples of power forwards are Breanna Stewart, Nneka Ogwumike, and Tina Charles. Instead of a physical power forward, the stretch 4 is known primarily for shooting three-pointers and mid-range jump shots instead of post play. The stretch 4 could also be very useful as a pick-and-pop screener, especially against the drop coverage defensive technique. For example, if the stretch 4 pops to the perimeter after setting a screen, then their defender will most likely not have enough time to close out and contest the potential open jump shot if the defender executes drop coverage. Even if the power forward cannot shoot, being a screener can also set up a mismatch for them or their teammates to try and score on the other team big man if they switch. The center, also known as the 5, the pivot, or the big man, typically plays near the baseline or close to the basket. They are usually the tallest players on the floor. Centers usually score down low, or in the paint, but there have been many centers who are good perimeter shooters as well. They are typically skilled at pulling down rebounds, contesting shots, and setting screens on players. The goal of centers is to create possessions, and, therefore, opportunities to score. By rebounding and trying to stop the other team from scoring in the paint. Because of a center's central role in defense, shots blocked is an exciting stat that day. And sometimes other positions bring to the game. In the past, players who played the position of center were relatively slow and hung out at the basket but were much taller than every other player. Today, however, that generality has changed. Now, Players who play as a center can also be classified as power forwards, can dominate opponents with their defensive skills, and can switch things up and shoot from the high post. This has been due to the scarcity of players possessing the combination of great skill, ideal height, and durability. The development of more fast-paced and athletic basketball play, which calls for less traditional center play and a more up and down the court play style, has also contributed to the shift over time. In the NBA, they are usually over 6 feet 8 inches tall. Some current notable NBA centers include Nikola Jokic, Joel Embiid, Anthony Davis, and Rudy Gobert.